Hello everybody, I'm Urvashi, and today in this video I'm going to be talking about Jupiter transiting between the two zodiac signs, that is between Scorpio and Sagittarius, transiting over a point which is called a Gandanta. So before I start, for all those who haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe and remember to tap the bell icon. Only will you then receive any kind of a notification. So well, first of all, let me explain what Gandanta is. So the meaning of Gandanta is Gand is a knot and Ant is the end. So the ending of something where there's a knot. So if you have a few ropes and you tie them together, so every point where there is a knot in that entire rope, now you've tied 3 or 4 ropes together, so that point where you've tied them together is the Gandant position between those other parts, So we have in the zodiac, so the zodiac is really made of nakshatras. I did the nakshatras in fact to fill into those 12 zodiac signs. So there are 27 nakshatras. I'm sure many of you would already know that, and they are in sets of 9. So there are 3 sets of 9 nakshatras each, because we have 9 planets, 7 planets, 2 shadow planets, Rahu and Ketu, so that's 9 planets. So the first 9 nakshatras end with the Ashlesha. So from Ashwini to Ashlesha, that's the set of first 9 nakshatras, and then the second set from Magha to Jeshtha is the second set. So between the first set there is a knot, because that rope, the second bar of the rope comes there. So there's a knot there. And why is there a knot there? What does that mean? What does the first set of nakshatra signify? What does the second set of nakshatra signify? And what does the third set of nakshatra signify? Because here we're talking about the knot between the second set and the third set. So the second set from Magha to Jeshtha. And so now we are at the point where Jupiter will be at that knot between this set of nakshatras and the last set of nakshatras. And the last set of nakshatras are from Mula to Revati. So this is the knot here that we're talking about. Jupiter is transiting this point. And what are these 3 sets of nakshatras? So the first set of nakshatras denote your birth and everything that you get through birth. Things you don't work for, and things you just get by being born in that family. So it also shows the first 4 houses of your zodiac. So you, the second house, your family, your wealth, your siblings and your home. And then the second set of 9 nakshatras, the knot comes in between now after the first set of 9 nakshatras. So I just want to explain this so that you know what's happening here. So the second set of 9 nakshatras from Leo, from Magha to Jeshtha, what does this show? It shows you stepping out of the world. The 5th house, the sign of Leo, to the 8th house, the sign of Scorpio, to the point of Jeshtha. So what does this show? This show you stepping out of the house and you making things happen for you. You are now out in the world and you are making things happen for you. The 5th house is love affairs, is education, higher education. It's your interests, your hobbies, your behavior with other people. The 6th house is your daily routine. So, and then marriage, and then there's a point when also business, also 7th house, and then there's a point of there's an area in the 8th house where we come and we again there's another knot between the 8th and the 9th house, or between, because the second set of nakshatras finish here and the third set starts. And now what is the difference that is going to be happening from there on? Why is the knot there? So from here on, it's about spirituality. The second set of nakshatras show what we will be doing in this life, how we will achieve things in this life. And then the third set of nakshatras, the third set starts with Mula. And Jupiter now is transiting between Jeshtha, the last nakshatra of the second set, and Mula, which is the first nakshatra of the third set. So this knot here signifies a shift from materialism to spirituality. A shift from going out in the world and trying to make a living and making things for yourself and relationships and etc., and moving towards what we are really born for, what the aim of our soul is really about. So that is why there is a knot there. So this shift is not an easy shift, and it's in the 8th house in the sign of Scorpio, the house of transformation, and the last nakshatra Jyeshtha, where Jupiter right now. So what does Jyeshtha also signify? So one of the symbols of Jyeshtha is a deer. Like in Ashlesha, which was the last nakshatra of the first set, the symbol is a serpent. So we talk about the serpent's shedding of its skin. So there is a process of transformation from the first set of nakshatras to the second set of nakshatras. Similarly, from Jyeshtha, it's a deer, and deers, they shed their antlers. They shed them and then they grow new ones, again showing a process of transformation and moving into the next set of nakshatras, which is towards spirituality. That is why we say Sagittarius is the house of spirituality. So it is because the particular nakshatras that come in Sagittarius show that. And which is the first nakshatra? Moola. So the Moola is the 19th nakshatra. Jyeshtha is the 18th nakshatra. 18th nakshatra also shows how we achieve things, how we complete things, how we become the most important, because that is what we aim at when we go out into the material world. Our aim is to be the best. So your 18th nakshatra will show how you are going to achieve it. So maybe when I do the nakshatras in detail, I can talk about this. So moving from that point of achievement towards the 19th nakshatra, which shows spirituality, Moola, which shows your guru, which shows your father, which shows dharma, because it falls in this dharma trine, which shows traditions. So the 19th nakshatra Moola here also shows your guru, the teachings of your guru or your father, your relationship with your guru. And that is why suddenly from materialistic achievement, we are going towards spirituality. So, and that transition is never easy. So this Gandanta point shows a time when no matter what we have materialistically, we may not be able to enjoy those materialistic things, because it is a shift or a transformation towards spirituality, especially if you have a planet there posited in this Gandanta in your birth chart. But since this is a transit, it will be to a lesser effect. But what is going to be the effect? The effect is going to be that there has to be a transformation of some sort. And Jupiter is doing this long stretch in Jyeshtha, the nakshatra of achievement, power of being the best, of how you complete things. And now Jupiter is just going to touch Moola, the first few minutes of Moola, and then Jupiter is going to come back towards Jyeshtha again. It's almost as if it's going towards the Guru. It's taking the blessings of the Guru. It is learning something from the Guru, because the transformation in the sign of Scorpio has to take place. But Jupiter, the Guru himself, is going towards the 19th nakshatra, which is the nakshatra for the Guru. And Jupiter is going there, taking the blessings and telling us there's going to be a message that we may be receiving at this point of time. A message from a Guru, a teacher, your Ishta Devta, your father. Whatever you learned, your traditions, your values, you need to fall back on them. As simple as that. That's how I understand this transit. And Jupiter is going to be stationary less than a minute. Actually, the speed is going to be less than a minute from the 6th of April to about the 9th of April. Then 10th of April, Jupiter starts its retrograde motion. So 8th and 9th, Jupiter is almost stationary. 8th, 9th, 10th, Jupiter is almost stationary. So that is again a very, very important time. So people who are already on a spiritual path, it's a great time for you. It's like having some spiritual breakthroughs where you're more connected to yourself, you're more connected to the, to God. But for people who are more materialistically inclined, this could be a wake-up call. This may prove not an easy time. This may be a time when you may have to go back and check out if anything that you did was not according to the rules and regulations, because Jupiter in the sign of transformation expects us to transform, to be better people. So was there something that we did not do which was correct? Did we take any shortcuts? Because we are supposed to change, we are supposed to transform. And in the race for being the best, for being number one in Jyeshtha, we may sometimes be using that energy in the wrong manner. So in this Gandanta position, when Jupiter is very slow, there could be certain lessons that some of us may have to go through, especially if we've taken shortcuts to achieving our goals and ambitions. And then we may have to fall back on the teachings of our father, or on a father figure, or on a guru. So if you have a guru, I think this is a great time to take blessings from your guru, because Jupiter is in the 19th nakshatra and Jupiter is going to be stationary. So that is a very, very focused energy there. That is why I just did a video on the speed of planets. I just wanted to show what the speed of planets mean. And when a planet is stationary, when it's almost, completely, it seems not to be moving, then it gives its natural significations. So those 3-4 days especially could be a wake-up call for many of us who need to be woken up and told to be on the right track. So if we've been following some track which is not correct, then there could be a wake-up call. And if we're already on the correct path, then great, let's just continue doing what we've been doing. Then there's nothing to worry about. Maybe we need to just get in touch with our guru, our teacher. Maybe we need to take the blessings of our father, have a word with our father. Maybe we need to remember Ishtadevta or meditate a little bit. It's a great time for spirituality. Nothing to worry about really, nothing to fear about. But this time is important because Jupiter is going to be stationary at the Gandanta point, at a point which suggests Guru, Jupiter, Guru, and in the nakshatra of the Guru, in the nakshatra of the father. That is why we associate father with the 9th house. If mother is the 4th house, then why not father, the 10th house? It's the 9th house because it's from our father that we get our values. Of course, also from our mother. But mother is mostly seen like a nourisher, So values we usually, get by just watching our father. It's not just what he tells, it's what he does. And we imbibe those values. So maybe it's time to connect with your father. Maybe it's time to utilize those values and become a better person. Maybe it's time to get in touch with your guru. I know it's time for change. I know it's a time for transformation. So Scorpio is my 5th house. I'm a Cancer ascendant. And I know there's a lot of transformation happening in my 5th house. So it's time we change. It's time all of us change. And if the change is not happening, it's time to connect with our guru. Because definitely the energy is a little unsettled right now. Because Jupiter is at that knot, at that point where it's come and it's stationary at that, knot of that rope. And it means we need to connect with our guru and follow the values that we're learning from there. And then go back and transform in the sign of Scorpio, in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha. So those are very important dates. It's already happening. Jupiter from tomorrow would be entering the Gandanta position, and Jupiter is going to be in Scorpio till about the 29th of this month. Then it moves into Sagittarius till about the 9th of this month. Between the 6th and the 9th, I said Jupiter is going to be extremely slow, especially the 8th and the 9th and the 10th. These 3 days are very important. And then Jupiter on the 10th starts going retrograde till about the 22nd. Jupiter will stay in Sagittarius. Then it enters Jyeshtha and will be in the Gandanta area till about the 6th of May. So this is an important time. The entire Gandanta energy is a little unsettled. But what is important is that it's going up to the point of the Guru and it's going to be stationary there. And why is it an unsettled energy? Because it expects us to break free from the materialistic things and move on a little bit towards spirituality. Now we cannot leave the materialistic world completely. We're living in a physical world, in a materialistic world, but we need to at least move a little bit towards spirituality. We need to be doing that on this, by and by on the side. So especially if we've been involved in certain unethical things, it's time to correct ourselves. It's time to connect with the Guru, with Jupiter, with your father, with whoever you believe in. So that is all I want to share about. This is my thought. This is how I see this transit. So I know it's an unsettled energy. So don't try anything new. Don't do anything new. But yes, be connected to your guru, your father. You can discuss your issues and problems with them. And then think about that. Because Jupiter is going to be in retrograde motion. So I don't suggest rush into something. Just think about the advice you're getting from there. Because that may be very important for the transformation that is to still take place in the house of Scorpio. Jupiter is still going to be in Scorpio for a while. So that advice that you may get could be very important. So little unsettled, the energy, especially if unethical things are happening. Because in the sign of Scorpio, we're supposed to be changing. So this is an interesting transit really. And we need to take advantage of this and evolve a little bit if we aren't already. So that is all for now. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.